This video explains how to process the system option screen from System Security. So in System Security model, you can access the system option screen from SO shortcut you see here, or from under the functions menu screen. So you click on System Options, and here you have a list of parameters to define. The first one is the minimum password length. This is set to be per default 0 digits. That means IDEAS does not require a minimum length for passwords. However, you can define, for example, 5 digits. And when you set that to 5, this means all passwords need to be at least 5 digits length. The next parameter is allow password reuse after. So in case passwords are set to expire in the user setup screen, you need here to define how frequently passwords can be reused. So for instance, if I say 2 times, that means I cannot reuse an old password before I define new password 2 times. The next parameter is the maximum login attempts. You can use this function to define the maximum number of login attempts that a user can do before being logged out from the model. So we can set this to 3 times. So if a user introduces wrong username and password, he could do 3 attempts. After that, the user account will be locked. You can choose or not to enforce complex password. And when you choose to enforce complex passwords, the user will have to have in his password upper cases, lower cases, numeric, and punctuation. You can choose to inactivate users if they exceed the login attempts. So if they fail to access to the system for 3 times, the account will turn inactive. You can activate the Chartmaster audit trail, and when you do that, in the general ledger model and under utilities, users will be able to track Chartmaster audit trail, like new accounts added, deleted accounts, cross-reference maintenance, structure maintenance, and changes on description. You can also turn on journal correction audit trail. And when you do that in general ledger, users will have access to the journal correction log report that will track who did corrections on journals and what type of corrections they did. You can also decide to track logging, and when you select that option, P2 IDs will allow you to track logins, and user will have access to a login tracking report in general ledger. Also, it's recommended to activate allow master login. And when you check that box, the user can log in once to the master login um, model and then use only one user license to connect to all the other IDEAS models except profile, and will not have to enter username and password every time he connects to another model. Activate enhanced security in case you have the enhanced security model. This will allow you to add additional or enhanced security per user on, for example, on companies, entities, accounts, etc. The user licenses box shows you your user count. So you can see here that I have IDs for one user only. In your case, it would be 10, 15, 5, depending on the user license count you have. You can decide to apply strong encryption or standard encryption. And in strong encryption, it will be 128-bit encryption. However, on standard encryption, it will be alphanumeric scrambled text. You can also decide to have the role security. If it's set to none, that means security will be defined for users the standard way, which is from the security screen, you define access right per user. If you choose user, then role security at the user level is used. If you choose a group, then role security interfaces with Active Directory and Active Directory is used. So these are the options that you have when defining the system option screen from system security model.